Welcome to the ACR webinar. Today's topic is DocxView and the SalesTALK Management Portal. The portal consists of SalesTALK Live and SalesTALK Pulse. So we're going to introduce the products and we're going to go through them in a little bit of detail and give you a bit of a demonstration of how they operate today. Both DocxView and SalesTALK Management Portal are available for users of the ACR Release 2 version of both Shop Talk and Trade Talk, and who process electronic orders or invoices through the ACR system. Using the document exchange. These are actually separate applications, and they allow you to do a few different functions, including managing your electronic orders, electronic invoices, as well as managing your fleet of SalesTALK iPads. So in our presentation today, we're going to cover using DocxView and how to use it, how to navigate around the screen, and what information is available on it. The same with our new SalesTALK Management Portal. We're going to see how it operates and how you can use it to see how your fleet's going. And SalesTALK Pulse to be able to monitor performance of your fleet. So, DocxView is our online tool for managing your electronic orders and invoices. Depending on what you actually have will depend on what shows here. As you can see on the screen, there is quite a bit of information, and this information, as I said, it will show you your orders coming in and out and your invoices coming in and out. The main part of the screen is your transaction list. This shows you a list of transactions and the information relative to them. This will change depending on what type of transactions you have in your list. So the general information that will be displayed is the status, and this is displayed as a set of traffic lights: red, yellow, green. Red indicates a problem with the transmission. Yellow indicates that an order has been received by DocX but hasn't actually been sent to your site, and green means that an order has been received and sent to your site. You'll have your tracking number. Now this is actually an identification number for the transaction that's occurred. Clicking on this TrackX number will open the DocX transaction view, and this will allow you to see the details of the transactions that have been selected. So if we select this, you'll see that it opens the DocxView and shows you more information. We will come back to this further in the presentation. The transaction ID, this will indicate the type of transaction. So it'll indicate whether they're SalesTALK, M orders, whether they're Mitacom orders and such. The type will indicate whether it's an order or an invoice to be able to help identify what you're looking at. The buyer ID, this will give you the customer number. So in this case, if we're looking at SalesTALK orders, these are the customer numbers that the SalesTALK orders have been identified to. And the unit number will show the actual unit number of your, in this case, your SalesTALK unit. So this is unit 70, 72, 71. Clicking on the unit number will actually give a little bit of detail. So it'll give you the unit ID, a serial number, the iOS version if you're running on an Apple iPad, and the ACR SalesTALK application version. So it's just a quick way of being able to have a look and see whether your staff are all running the latest version of Apple iOS and the latest version of the SalesTALK application. Okay, the transactions that are actually displayed can be managed using your using your qualifiers that are on the left of the screen. There's a number of different ways they can be used, and they can be used in conjunction with each other. But what we have is the date range at the top first. Oh, sorry, the you've selected part at the top is going to build and show you what qualifications we've applied to the screen at the time. The date will allow you to use the date range and qualify what date range. So at the moment we've got it set for today's date. I can click on the from, set I want to do it from yesterday to today, click refresh date range, and now we'll be able to see that we've got orders coming through from yesterday and today. If I go back up and remove that order, we'll see that the date column has actually been removed because they're all from today, and the time column showing us what time today. The transaction ID, if you have more than one type of transaction included, so if you have orders coming in from different suppliers as well as orders coming in from your reps and SalesTALK, and you might have some invoices going back out to other customers, you'll have different types here. You can actually qualify by only the type of transaction you wish to see. In this case, all of the transactions we have are SalesTALK transactions. The next one is the unit number. You may, if a particular rep calls up saying, I want to check up something on a specific order that's come through, you can actually qualify just to see that rep's orders only. Doing this just helps you narrow it down. You might have a rep who says, oh, I think I sent an order through, can you check and make sure it's arrived? Qualifying by the date range and the unit ID will help you to actually just see what you're after. The miscellaneous options down the side here are good for if you have if you're trying to track down information about a specific order. You might have all you might have is a customer ID, or you might have just something a little bit of information. You just want to be able to type it in and qualify by it. You can here. So in this case, if we were to qualify by that number, you'll see that it'll actually look for just the buyer ID, and we can actually tell it just what information we're looking for if we want to. And as I said, we've built up our list of qualifications on the left here. If we just want to clear it, it'll go back and show us all the information available. Now, if we actually want to drill down on a specific order, we can drill down on a specific order by clicking on its tracking ID. And what this will show us is the DocX tracking ID, the recipient, the unit number, the buyer ID, when it was updated, the order, the status it's in, and importantly, it will show us the order itself. So depending on what information you're transmitting, in this case we can see that there is there's a note at the top that we've got the line items, what products, their description and their quantities listed here. So if we were to go down to another order, we would actually be able to see again different information pertinent to the specific order we're after. Along the top, we have information. We have graphical information showing the split of orders, percentage they've come in. So if we drill down on a specific, if we increase the date range, we can now see that we've got more specific information. If we now drill down, so there are different graphs. If you have different transaction IDs, you'll be able to actually drill down on a graph showing the different types of transactions. So that's available along the top here. To actually get to DocxView, there are a number of ways you can do it depending depending on what version of ACR you're in. If you're using ACR Release 2, there's actually a menu item on your ACR menu called DocxView that you can access. Alternatively, you may have been provided with an internet URL that you can log in through, or your reps themselves will be able to see a version of DocxView pertinent only to their actual unit number by going into the SalesTALK application. On the main screen that has the grey background with the 4 red boxes, they'll be able to select DocxView and actually see a reduced version of DocxView so that they can actually go through and they'll be able to see what orders they've sent. They can qualify by the date range they want to see, whether they want to go back and look at previous orders that a particular person may have sent, whether they just want to be able to double check that an order's been received by DocX. That largely wraps up DocxView itself. As I said, it is a very powerful tool for tracking orders, especially if you are checking in ACR and you can see that an electronic order's come through. You can use the file name or the reference from electronic customer order maintenance within ACR, type it in the search box here, qualify the date range appropriately, and be able to see the order in DocxView. Alternatively, you can use DocxView to see whether, if a rep says that an order's been sent, that you actually can see that the order has arrived at ACR. Okay, so I'm going to move on to the next component, which is the under SalesTALK management, live tracking. Now this is a new component of ACR that is just being launched, and this is around your iPad fleet management. So SalesTALK Live Tracking is a new separately licensed module that has been developed for people who are using SalesTALK iPad software. It's a powerful tool for sales managers and proprietors that allow them iPad fleet management and sales route tracking. The SalesTALK Live Tracking application shows your fleet on a regional map. As you can see here, we've got the regional New South Wales map that we can actually drill down into, and we can see our 3 reps here. So what these pins are, they're actually showing the last interaction that the rep had with their unit and transmitting data. So the iPads will transmit data when a rep opens up, starts an order for a customer, when a rep when a rep updates an order, when they put it on hold, or when they finally transmit it. So that will show what information they're actually showing. As you can see in the top left here, we've got the key that the yellow pins are active, so that means that unit 71 in this case has recently done a transmission, whether they were starting an order, whether they were updating it, whereas units 70 and 72 have been idle for approximately 5 minutes. So whether they're in transit, whether they've completed an order and or arrived at the site and haven't yet started placing the order, it's building up information there. On the main screen here, we can actually qualify, well, we can view different information. So we can actually just say, I only want to see the active units, or I only want to see the idle units. You may want to see who's currently placing orders, who has not done a transmission in a while. Alternatively, on the left here, you can actually see all your units that are active today. You can tick the show all units to see all of the units that you have, but obviously any unit that isn't active today isn't going to show. And just to show the difference here, we're going to qualify back to yesterday, and we'll see here that yesterday we had an additional 2 units transmit orders that didn't transmit today. So that just shows you the information. So that additional to the order number and the name that is tagged to that unit, you can actually also see the information of how many orders they've placed, how many lines are on those orders, what's the GP of the sales, and what the total sales are. And as you see here, clicking on one of these units will actually drill down to change the view to show only that unit itself. So what we can see here is actually a trail of all the orders and all of the transmissions that were placed for unit 70 between yesterday and today. So we can zoom in to actually get a better view. As we can see, it's sort of all over the place. What we can use is our information down in our order information, and this shows the last sent order at the top, first sent order at the bottom, and by simply moving between them, it will show you where on the map the order was actually placed. As you can see here, it's appearing to jump all over the place because effectively this rep has been moving all over the place placing orders. Now, we can keep drilling into the map to make it easier to see what we're looking at. And again, we can actually drill onto one specific one and see who it was for, how many lines, and what time it was last updated. So what we can do, we can change this back to just today, and we'll have a reduced set of orders. So now we can see that today, if we're tracking this rep, we can see 1 and then 4 because certain orders may be behind other orders. So if we have a look here, we can see that order 2 appears to be at the exact same location as order 10. So that's put them behind each other. But scrolling through the orders is a good way to be able to find where you're looking for. Okay, so if we go back to we scroll back up to the top and deselect the unit that we're scrolled into and zoom back out, we can see all of our units again. Now, on the actual screen where we can see what orders have been placed, we can actually have a look here and see these are all of the orders that have been placed today for our reps. Very similar information to DocxView. We can see the tracking number, the unit, the buyer, the status, whether it's currently invoiced or whether it's being held or it's in progress, how many lines and when it was updated. Now we can actually drill down into the in progress, and we can see that at the moment we've got 1 order in progress, and we can drill down onto the total lines and see what lines. Now this will actually update in real time. So if additional lines are added, we will see them add onto the order. If quantities are changed, if lines are removed, we will see that too. So as we've just seen there, we've just seen the Cadbury 25 kilo Choco add-on at a quantity of 1. We can also drill down and see held. So if your reps have any held orders, you'll actually be able to see the same information we would see in sent, what unit number, who the customer is, the total lines, when it was started, when it was updated for any held orders. So this is a way of being able to, if you've got a call off a customer saying, oh, my order should have gone in, if you can't see it, you may be able to check here and see whether the rep hasn't actually transmitted it yet, rather than just being able to tell whether the rep, see whether the rep has, whether you've received it or not. And then we can see the sent orders. So as you can see, this is quite a powerful tool for being able to say, right, my rep unit number 70, what's their pattern for today? Where have they gone? What have they been doing today? And by just the nature of seeing where they're sort of moving around, you can start seeing where their regions are and where they're travelling in a day. Obviously, looking at a couple of different reps, you may be able to tell whether you're actually getting overlap in areas and whether the routes that they're using are the most efficient routes to be possibly using at the moment. Okay. So that largely covers the SalesTALK live tracking. As you can see, it is quite a powerful tool with being able to see a map pinpointing exactly where they are, or where their last activity was, where they are at the moment, and being able to drill down and see, right, of these 13 orders with 400 lines for that rep, where were they placed? Well, I'm seeing here that they're going 1, 2, 3, 4. You can help with working out route efficiency, because there might be efficiencies to be made with starting at different orders than what they currently are. Okay. The last tool we're going to look into today is SalesTALK Pulse. SalesTALK Pulse is a great tool that's designed to give at-a-glance information on the performance of your sales reps that are using the SalesTALK iPad application. Pulse displays key performance indicators in an easy-to-read graphical format, as you can see. And it can display comparisons of all sales together, or show breakdowns of individual sales reps details. So we'll drill into that and see that in a little bit. You can set the details again by a single date or by a date range if you would like, and that will change how the information is shown. So in this case, we'll show it over a 2-day range, and what we'll see here is the total number of orders in that date range by the unit, the sales, depending on the graph that you're showing. Going back to a single day, we'll obviously reduce the information to only the information shown today. As you can see, we've got total orders, sales, GP, hourly sales, hourly GP, orders, GP, orders, average order sales, average order GP, customers seen, customers per hour, a lot of the key performance indicators you would want to see to be able to drill into it. What we can actually do is drill down on a specific... now, just on this, the date ranges we can see here, you can do rather large date ranges. You could do an entire month if you wanted to. It's suggested to keep within about 1 to 2 weeks, depending on the amount of orders you place, or amount of traffic that flows through. The larger date range you qualify, the more orders included in that, the longer it's going to take to put together the information and display it. So if you qualify a 1-month period and it's a really busy period, it may take a while for the graphs to be developed, and you'll also see that there might be a large amount of information that may make reading the graphs a little bit more difficult. We've found between 1 to 2 weeks worth of information tends to show really well on these graphs. Okay, so we can actually drill down now just onto a specific unit if we want. And what we'll see is that these graphs now have changed. So the total orders, we're now actually seeing the total orders and what time. So between 7 and 8 there was 2, 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 1, 1. The total sales, the GP, the customers seen, the total order lines for that rep themselves. So if we actually drill down onto a column, we can actually see what makes up that information. So in this case there were 2 orders, the sales, the GP, the lines, all at a glance, so you don't have to go looking for any further information. If you want to see it, you can just drill down on it or hover over it, and you'll see hour between 12 and 1 total sales value. If we go back to the larger, we can see here total orders for unit 71 were 13. These are the orders that made up those 13. Average customers per hour, we can see 72 was averaging 1.33. So, and there's all of the orders over the day. So there's quite a bit of information that can be used, or can be derived from this, and it is constantly being developed further. So over time you will see additional graphs come in. What we can actually do here is also the group by date or group by unit. So we see the total number of orders. This is useful if you do want to use a date range. Here we can see that doing it by date rather than by unit, we can actually see that we've got, if we scroll on to this, 48 orders yesterday, 38 today. So it's just a way of being able to, if you do it over a larger period, let's say 7 days, we can see here, we can start getting a trend and start building that trend of what you're using it for, and how your reps are actually placing the orders. And again, it's all just at a click of a button. Okay. All right. So just to cover over what we've sort of gone through, DocxView can be used throughout the day to view your sales activity. You can use SalesTALK to provide your reps with the best possible electronic sales tools available for use with ACR. You can use the management portal to track where your iPads are sending orders, what the quantity, the GP, etc. of those orders are actually are. You can use SalesTALK management portal to optimize your sales routes. As we said, as we showed, you can actually view what your sales routes are doing, and be able to actually then review them over the course of the time. And we can use Pulse to track the sales performance through KPIs. As you saw there, you can now build KPIs into your sales reps, and we can and be able to track them efficiently. Can I search for a customer's order if I know the day it was sent and the customer number? Yes, you can. So what we can do, we can actually go back to SalesTALK in DocxView, and we can actually go, okay, yesterday there was an order for this customer, and it will display only the orders that are available for that customer number. I've had another question about combining multiple qualifiers. Yes, in all three in here you can do your date range and drill down to a specific person. In Pulse, again, you can put your date range and drill down. You can also do the show all units to see all of your units if you wish. And in live tracking, in DocxView, you can combine multiple different qualifiers to narrow the information that's being displayed down to just a very narrow amount. Yes, this is largely about trend management. It's about helping to provide the information to the owners of the business, to the managers of a business, about what's happening with your sales fleet. Are they operating as efficiently as they could? Is there something that could be done to increase the efficiency of your sales fleet? And just simply, what is happening out there? These are tools that ACR are providing and continually developing to help the businesses try and run more efficiently, and to use the other tools that we've already got in our fleet, the SalesTALK, the electronic customer order maintenance, DocxView, which a lot of people would already be familiar with. Now the SalesTALK management, fleet management, and the SalesTALK Pulse combined together to be able to be a strong platform to work with your sales fleet from. If you would like any further information, as we said, please feel free to contact either Matt Knipe directly, or have a talk to one of the trainers through the regular support line, and they'll be able to assist you. Thank you very much.